All right. Yeah, so here we are. We're in. So yeah, I was gonna go on a quick rant. I didn't even say I was gonna do a live stream. I just kind of randomly did it. But let's go on a quick rant. A common issue that I come across being in Czech Republic. Hey Tekken, being in Czech Republic, which it's not, I mean, like I understand, I get it. I'm in a country where English is not the number one language. I get that shit. But there's so many of these like little tricks and scams and like so there's a part of me that does not feel sorry at all for a large portion of people who lost their jobs over here because of coronavirus. There's a part of me that like a lot of people like they had that shit coming for what they would do to foreigners. Okay. So a part of me is a part of like there is parts of the population that I do laugh at who lost their jobs because they were just completely getting over on people. And they deserve, like, especially in the tourism industry, or even like a lot of doctors, like, because actually that's where I'm going with this. There's a guy who posted in a Facebook group here in Prague talking about how the doctor charged him about $7 US just to speak English to him, right? And hey, Panama, damn, that's gangster. I know. I thought that shit only existed in Scarface world. I know that shit was real. Panama. I thought that was only Tony Montana doing there. No, I heard of Panama before. I have no idea where it is. But yeah, so yeah, they're charging, well, some doctors will charge, people to speak English, or like they're your landlords or whatever the fuck. Some people they charge just to speak English. And personally, I never had that. Nobody has ever came to me and made me pay for them to speak English to them that I can remember. Because if they did come to me with that bullshit, I probably just laughed at it and just kept moving. Like it was probably so insignificant to my brain that I just said fuck it. Like I just didn't even pay any attention at all. But she hates you, Mr. OG. Yeah. But yeah, it was, man. It like so I went on a rant about it, like why are these motherfuckers charging? Why are they charging to speak English? Because if you really think about the reality on it's okay, let's say just Prague charging people to speak English, right? I know why they're doing it because because I thought deeper into the okay, from my opinion of it. Why would they charge to speak English? You see, because first off, English is pretty much like the international language of the world. Like if you go anywhere on earth, somebody is going to know at least some English word. You see, it's not like now I can see like if it was the other way around, like if we was in America and a motherfucker charged somebody to speak Czech, that I can see that because because nobody knows. Once you get out of Czech Republic, don't nobody knows Czech. It's just I'm not trying to say anybody's better or worse. It's just the reality. So, in my opinion, like, okay, from what I see of it, they're charging English because English is pretty much associated with like, by the time you get here and you doing shit here, English is going to be associated with being the rich language. And then, they'll profile you, see what you got, where you're from, see your passport and all that shit like that. Oh, he's American. Okay, yeah, charge this motherfucker $15 to speak to me in English. That is what they do. Because on the same instance, are these doctors charging fucking and I don't mean to say anybody's better or worse, but it's the reality of the situation. Are they charging motherfuckers in Ukraine to speak fucking Ukrainian to them? No, they're not charging them. Are they charging people in Romania that come here? Are they charging motherfuckers to speak Romanian? No. They probably don't even care to learn it because they targeting the richer motherfuckers. Like they're just full of shit, man. And I thought they was gonna run me out that room on Facebook, but people actually liked what I was saying. Like I thought they was gonna roast me hard for saying that shit. Like they're fucking scam or they're ripping you off of that shit. I mean, yeah, it's only like $5 or $10, but still, like this, it's just something so dumb and petty. They like it's bullshit, man. That's what pissed me off. The last girl I was talking about turned she was bisexual, so I just left. The girl was oh, you could have probably worked out a threesome with her and got another girl. hygiene is more valuable. Hey man, how expensive is it to live in Czech Republic? Here, my rent in this flat. Well, and that's the thing here. It doesn't really matter like where the flat is. Like most flats are going to be like generally in the same area. When you're living in Prague, Prague is going to be your most expensive from what I've seen and heard. Prague is going to be probably about the most expensive. Well, I mean, there's always like there's always like more fluent, less affluent areas, stuff like that. But overall, Prague is, from what I understand, Prague is going to be the most expensive place to live. Well, I pay 14,000 Czech crowns to live here. 14,000 Czech crowns. You can Google it. 14,000 Czech crowns is like 600 and maybe like $650 a month to live here. It's like they call it 2KK, which it's because in the States we just say 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. They do like the KK thing where it's like, I still don't understand it, but it's just 2 rooms and it's like 2 hallways connecting the 2 rooms in here. And I pay about $600 a month. So after that, well, about $650 a month. After that, I pay in foods. Well, now I completely switched to having my groceries delivered because I just pretty much ruled out buying a car. Well, I'd had 2 cars when I was here, and I just got rid of both of them. It just wasn't worth it. But you get your groceries delivered for like $3, but you got to buy a minimum of 800 crowns, which is about $35 maybe. So I'll do that maybe 2 times a month. Then my girl, she'll cook most of the other times or bring something up when she comes over. So I spend about $80 a month on food, maybe. Because beer is pretty much, you pretty much don't even add that in. Like this 1.5 liters of beer, I actually looked it up, but last time I bought something with my card because it gives you that warning, that alert that you spent something. This is 1.5 liters of beer. And this came to $1.74 US dollars. So like beer is pretty much not a non-existent, cost relatively, unless you drink a lot of beer. In the States, you'd spend probably about $6-7 on that at least. Thanks, seven night stand. Kills Mojo. I've been working out like crazy. Well, not like crazy, but I started working out again, doing pull-ups outside, using the ab roller, doing like the dips with your legs, like in between Gran Turismo matches. I'm still kind of pissed about Gran Turismo, man. Oh, because if anybody plays Gran Turismo, the penalty system is completely fucking shot to goddamn hell. It's fucking horrible. So like, if anybody's into racing, like, if you're like driving, if you like literally like tap somebody's bumper slightly, because a lot of times people just brake check you, or they had a different car, so they got to brake sooner than you. It gets into racing. But if you like tap somebody's bumper, you'll get like a second penalty. And in racing, a second penalty, that's a nice size penalty. That's nothing to ignore. A second penalty, you got to because when you factor in, you got to slow down and then go like 20 miles an hour for like a second and then get back up to speed with the regular group. You really lost maybe about 3 or 4 seconds in total, depending on where it is. Does the sun exist out in Czech? Because I imagine the person. Oh man, yeah, the sun goes down like in the wintertime. Now the sun's officially gone by 4:30 p.m. And when I was living in Českalipo, I remember when I was living in Českalipo, it was probably about an hour and a half north of here. Man, like I remember I would go get lunch at like 3, and before 4 p.m., like it was like dark and the street lights were on up there. So that was pretty crazy. I tell my dad that story all the time. He always kind of like, it entertains him to tell him that. Oh wait, I know where it is because I remember there were some questions I wanted to get back to, and I screenshot them so I could remember them. Oh, okay. This is a question from a YouTube watcher. It said, I wanted to ask you if you ever had the time of day to make a video about what you went through when you made the transition of accepting death as a likelihood when you joined the Marines. just what was going through your head and how you can live not being a slave to the pain you were setting yourself up to possibly endure. Well, when I first when when I decided to go to the Marines, I I was actually training for the Ironman competition. I don't know if you guys know what the Ironman competition is, but it's that thing where they fucking like swim, like I think like some ridiculous amount. They run like I think it's like a week or like it's a few days long street exercise type of thing or something like that. I forget what it is now, but at the time I was training for that. So every morning I would get up and I would run. I used to live in downtown Dayton, Ohio. So if you will go on Google Maps, see downtown Dayton, Ohio, you'll see this river, this river by the center of Dayton, Ohio, where like all the skyscrapers are. I used to go in there and I used to run all the way up and all the way back. And I think it came to like a total like 6.5 miles. I did it every morning before school, before I had to go, because I was in college. I did it every morning, and then every night I would do it. I would run. I can't remember my times. I'm awful with keeping track of remembering that shit. And so I was training for that, man. I was doing, pull-ups and all that, all the other exercise shit. And I remember doing it. I remember thinking like, I needed something a little more extreme. Like, but not extreme in the sense of just working out, but I wanted like a mental stressor. So I thought, maybe I should go to the military. Because I was going to go to the Air Force when I was like 18, but I can't remember why I didn't go then. Because I was in like a delayed enlistment program, but I can't remember why I ended up not going. But yeah, at that time, so I chose the Marines. I went and talked to them, seeing what they had, and I was just a little more wild because I was younger, man. I was a little younger. I was a little more wild. I just didn't really care. I was just wild. I would just go. I mean, I would just do things that just really didn't make sense. My dad would tell me stories that, like, he would tell me, like, I don't know why you would even do that. I would just do things that didn't make a lot of sense. But what I found when I would do those things is the fact that I would do that would like automatically put people a little off center with me, because I've always been a small guy. But it was kind of like the thought of me doing like X would always like kind of like put like subconscious fear in other people, I think, or they would always be, I don't say fear, but like kind of like hesitant to like sit around me. Like it was as if I gave off like a fucked up aura or something. So I wanted to find somebody who wouldn't be afraid of me, like who wouldn't be awkward, or because I was living in homeless shelters, man. Like I was like off in the other shit, man. Where a small dude like me should have got beat up pretty really, should have got his shit stolen and everything, but it never happened. I never came across anybody who didn't like feel it. So I wanted to go somewhere where somebody felt it. I just didn't care. Like I just wanted to feel somebody not give a fuck and tell me what to do, like completely. Because personally, I always had a way of like working with. I always had like this fucking weird wavelength in my brain to like dive into people's brain and like twist it and turn on them type of thing. I don't know what the fuck it is, man, but I've always been good at it. And it's just something like how I say in my videos. It's something about like when you learn it, it's something like it's like how you walk and talk and you exist in the shit you'll say. One thing I did learn is this: if you want to learn that, the number one important thing that I remember learning was people are afraid of what they can't predict and what they can't understand. So if you just do something or you just stay unpredictable, like people will always be a little like weird about it, which as a small dude running around the world on his own, it works to your benefit. But the lack of fear of death. Do you recommend someone going to the Marines, Armed Services? I'm 24 considering it. It depends on what all you got going on in your life and where you are. Because for a lot of people, no, I wouldn't recommend it at all. But some people totally, it completely saved the whole path of your life for sure. It depends on where you are personally. I using oral. Yeah, I did the ROTC. I did the ROTC in high school too, man. And so that's what got me up to like, was it E2? When I went in, I went in as an E2. Well, it was partly because I had an associate's degree at that time. I only had an associate's degree, And I also did the high school, the ROTC. They called it ROTC, the ROTC. But I like either one, like it didn't like combine and make me like, you know, like an E5 or some shit. Like I had to pick one or the other, but either one it would have been an E2. 58 push-ups, 104 crunches, 1.2 mile run under 4. Well, the run is gonna be your hardest part. Everything, the crunches, you're gonna be able to do the crunches if you just like work at it. Because I think I did like when I was in there, I think I did well over 100 crunches. I remember that. I can't do it now because I had a fucking hernia operation. I would show you, but I might get banned because I might show too low. But I got a scar, like I had an inguinal hernia, and that shit fucking sucks balls, man. It's horrible. So I can't do crunches anymore. But I could do the ab roller because every time I try to do crunches, it feels like it's getting ready to like bust out of the fucking like they have that like pretty much what an inguinal hernia is, or what a hernia is in general is like where your intestines are. You have like this fucking skin layer that keeps all your intestines inside, right? But when you get a hernia, what happens is like that fucking it's pretty much like a bag, and that bag like it'll rip. And your intestines kind of like just like bulge out and they just kind of keep coming out. And some guys, they go like, some guys never get it fixed. So we just bolt like it, like they end up with just this big ass ball. Like they just never go get it because you can push it back in. It just comes back. It's fucking gross, man. You can push it in. It'll just come back out. And some guy, like I was afraid to go to the doctor. And a lot of guys, especially for the inguinal ones, you just be afraid to go to the doctor for it because it's just fucking weird as fuck the first time you see it. But yeah, I don't know why I got on that rant. But yeah, I can't do crunches anymore. I'm 5'7", Timothy, like 170 centimeters. Was it 100? Yeah, 170 centimeters. Man doing the right thing, sure. Yeah, I'll start taking a detour and make some different type of videos. I feel like I'm like doing the same shit on my videos now. How do you set the line with a woman that you are not? Wait. How do you set the line with a woman that you are not and won't be her friend or her bro or BFF, but better be an alpha in her life? You got to tell her exactly what you want up front. Tell her exactly what you want. Like you got to tell a woman, I want you to be my girlfriend, or I want you to be my fuck, but like you got, and then what she says after that or how she acts after that, that's on her. Like I said that in the video a while back. Like when it comes to women, man, like you got to be about what you got to do whatever you do, and then a woman. See, like I said, like my opinion is this: a woman ends up choosing in the end. She's gonna end up choosing you in the end, and so with that being said, like you have to do whatever you do, and if she comes along, then that's cool. She can come along, but if not, okay, get the fuck out, bye. And you just keep moving, and finding whatever looking for whatever you looking for, and you'll find it eventually. But at the end of the day, it really is the woman that's going to choose you. Because if you choose her, you ain't like it's never going to be right. If you completely chose her, and she ain't never really choose you, that relationship is never gonna be right, man. You are gonna spend the whole time just in just frustration and turmoil and shit. If you choose her and she don't choose you. Yeah, I did get Skittles, man. I did get the email about the Lana Rhodes and Rebecca Moore. I haven't had time to really read. I'm reading to it though. But I did see that. I remember because I've been seeing Lana Rhodes' name a lot, like just randomly now. I don't know who the bitch is. I thought it was Lana Del Rey, and then somebody I came across somewhere else, and I think she's a porn star, or is she like an Instagram? I don't know who the fuck Lana Rhodes is. I keep seeing the name though. What you drinking? Zlatoplamen? I don't know if I pronounced it right. Hey Vegeta. How do you unleash the inner savage in you? Well, that could be inner savage can mean different things for different people. That's a hard question to answer. Do you still think there's good women anymore? I'm in high school in 10th grade, but I can't find a girl whose dad has been ran through. Yo, those are years when they gonna go, they gonna get ran through. Okay, but I'll tell you this, David, because this was the issues that I had in high school, and pretty much before I got older, is that there are some girls right now who are like crazy about you right now, and they don't even look that bad, but like you just ain't noticing them. Cause like that motherfucker was it Elliot Rogers. Y'all remember Elliot Rogers, that incel motherfucker? See, like that was his problem. I guarantee you, I would bet $1,000 to a toenail that this motherfucker. I guarantee there was at least 5 bitches who was crazy about him. This I guarantee you. But he was so. I'm not saying that this is what you're doing, but what he just did. The correlation I'm trying to make is he just wasn't paying attention. And it's gonna happen because I remember when I was in school, I was at the school for like 3 or 4 years. I swear to you, I never seen this girl a day before in my life. So I never seen her a day before in my life, and I end up sitting next to her on accident by academic advising at the school. And she's going on like, yeah, I've seen you for the last 3 years. Like you used to be in this such and such building and such. And I swear, I'd never seen that girl in my life, not a day in my life. And she knew exactly who I was. That was yeah. But back to the question in 10th grade. Okay, a lot of girls, especially nowadays, that whole pressure for sex. It's like girls, they want to be old when they're young, and when they get old, they want to be young again. But when they're young, they want to be old. It flips. When they're young, they want to be old. So they want to they try to get all the experience because they're trying to get prepared for like the prince that's gonna come and take them along. So when they're younger, they're like a lot of them. They're trying to move faster. A lot of them they're trying to move faster. And then on those ages, man, like especially in these ages, if the girl is not seeking you out, like just really don't pay her too much attention. If the girl, because she look in 10th, 11th, 12th grade, them girls is those girls is drinking. They got 20-year-olds coming to drive them around at night. They got, they getting ran through by the dudes in your school plus the dudes who's already graduated, right? So just I would never tell a man to ever really go out his way to go get with a bitch anyway. But what I tell a man is if the girl's not like putting effort into coming after you, then I would deal with it. Or if she's not making it clear she's staring at you or some shit like that, like I wouldn't touch it. You want to see the city? Well, you probably can't because the lights are on, so it's going to be like you're going to see the reflection. But I'm chilling. Fucking. Here we are. So, yeah, see the lights are on. You can't really see. It's just reflections and shit. But yeah, that's Prague, but you can't see anything. I'm a Canadian black man. I listen to a lot of rock and roll, soul as well. I seem to date mostly white women due to them in my environment. Should I start trying to date black women now? I mean, do you want to? If you want to date black women, you can. I mean, if you're interested in trying something different, sure, go for it. Or yeah. Dealing with crazy abusive high school chicks, and I felt better watching them suffer fools. As word up, word. Oh shit, I lost where I was at in the comment section again. Thing is, I don't want sex only after marriage because I'm more of a championship kind of guy. Sex is going to deplete later on. I'd rather have fun and enjoy my life. Word up, well, that's cool. Thanks, Donald. Appreciate it. So, Southern Oregon, word. Oregon, that's gangster. I ain't never been to Oregon. My team leader at work is a 9 on looks from Bulgaria, sweet personality. She was throwing me choosing signals because I came off very masculine, but then I displayed some insecurity and she's done. Well, no, okay, Travis, no, I tell you what you do, man, because we all gonna fuck up. We're all gonna fuck up at something. Maybe you was just having that type of day. You was feeling that kind of way that day. No, you. Well, it depends on how. Okay, it depends on what you exactly did, Travis. Like, because bitches know you. Okay, bitches know they're like you. There are times you just gonna have a bad day, okay, or you just gonna say some goofy shit. Something's gonna happen, okay. But it depends on what it was. Like you can fix it. Like it is possible you can fix it. As long as you didn't do the whole like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 all that shit. As long as you didn't do that, or like say like, oh, I want you to marry me type shit, something like that, or I see you as like the mother of my kids or something like that. As long as you didn't go like that deep into it, you can still fix it. But you just gotta pretty much just ignore. Hey, I'm gonna focus on me right now. I'm starting to word up. I'm 19. Man, I really don't know what I'm doing. What I'm going to do in life. Love travel though. Any advice on the groundwork to be ready for life? So you're 19. So I'm guessing you out of high school. In these ages, man, like if in these ages, if you get a girl, cool. But if not, like don't chase after her. Because like I said, I think I said in the last live stream or in a video a while back, girls in your age bracket. See, girls is like everything about a girl and her hypergamy. It's relative to that girl, but she is okay. But I'm sorry, what you say? What to do with life? What to be ready for life? So fuck the girls. To be ready for life? When you feel like getting up and you feel like learning something, like you just dive into it. You just dive into it, and you just when you feel it, you dive into it and read. Now, I'd say how I am. Personally, I'm the kind of person who when I have to get into a reading mood. But then when I'm in a reading mood, I'll wake up in the morning reading and I'll go to bed reading. But it'll last maybe about a month, maybe about a month and a half, 2 months at max, and then I'm done for the year. Like my brain, it just doesn't. It will just reject reading anything in depth. Like it just rejects it completely. But for that like month and a half, I'll go hard reading. Arizona, word up. If I moved to Europe, would it be easier or harder to be a popular musician? Well, I think it would be a bit easier here because it's a bit different from what I've seen. Like with music, it's a bit different over here. It's not like the US where like people just want to like whatever they think other people like. Like over here my opinion is over here people here enjoy just the music. You see what I'm saying? Like they more just enjoy somebody doing music. It doesn't have to be fucking Michael Jackson or somebody like in the US like you got to be a somebody before people would listen to you at all. Like if somebody likes you, like they'll just like you over here because of the art more so than the US. The US, if y'all know if you're in the US, but in the US is really like cliquish in the US with that. What books do you read? What books do you love to read? And which Red Pill content creators do you watch? Xavier Jones. Oh, hey, Xavier. How's it going, man? 64. Word up. Hey, thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it. What books do I love to Well, actually, I was looking. I'm going to buy 2 books. I've just been procrastinating on buying them. I'm actually reading one is called A Theory of Feelings by Agnes Helter, and the other one I talked about this on the last live stream, The Being of Nothingness, Being and Nothingness. I think there are 2 pretty much. I think the first one, I forget why I wanted to read this. Oh, predicting. Oh, here it is. A theory of feeling examines the problem of human feelings widely understood from a phenomenological, analytic, and I don't know. I forget why I wanted to read it, but I put it in my fucking phone so I remember it because I wanted to buy it and at least try to read a few chapters at minimum to see what they talk about. What's your budget or spend rate in Prague? Oh man, you'll be. Oh wait, first the Red Pill creators I watch. I used to watch a lot of Coach Red Pill. I used to watch. I think one of the first guys I ever watched was Entrepreneurs in Cars. One of the first because I'm done not talk bad about him, but I just didn't. I probably just typed in like why date certain type of women, and I think his was like the first one who popped up. Because I remember I didn't even know what MGTOW Red Pill was for a long time, but yeah, Entrepreneur. I used to watch Entrepreneurs in Cars. Coach Greg Adams. I used to watch the dude I did the interview with, King Richards. I used to watch him. This was 2018. And then, but because then for some reason, like his videos just never popped up again in my feed. So I think that's how I just kind of like stopped watching them. I don't know what happened. But this is before I even knew I didn't even know what the manosphere was. I would just be curious and typed in like, should you date single mothers or whatever the fuck? And these were the guys who would come up. And to be real about it, I think I told you guys before, like I was starstruck. I did an interview with King Richards. Like if you watch this, you go hear me. I was starstruck to talk to that motherfucker. Like, cause I used to watch him before I made this shit. Coach, of course, Coach Greg Adams. Donovan, I watched a bit of Donovan Sharp too. I got into Donovan Sharp was the last one. It was a bit of Better Bachelor. I watched a bit of Better Bachelor, and Donovan Sharp he was the last one that I got like pretty. I was into a lot of his shit for a while, and then I just kind of stopped watching everybody. I don't really watch anybody anymore, to be honest, unless I stumble on something that's like super thought provoking, like something they came up with. I just don't even. I just stopped. Watching a lot of people. Will be some pros, cons. Oh, wait, hang on. Will be some pros, cons of ages 25, 35 for men. Currently 27, raised by a single mother. Feel like I'm in a transition phase. Well, the pro at 27. The pro is this. The pro is pretty much after 25. It can be looked at as a pro and as a minus, but after 25, you're essentially like a full-grown man. Okay, so it's time to start making moves. And this is the time period where you can take many more risks. I mean, any man can take any risk at any age because as man, you can always go fix it, whatever you fucked up, and be much stronger, faster, better than you were before at any age. But at 27, with the technology out now, like, because when I was 27, I mean, we had internet and shit, but like, it wasn't like super fucking fleshed out to where like everybody knew what to go Google, what to look for, shit like that. It was, I mean, what I was 27. What? No, it was. Yes, it was. I'm lying. I was a little, yeah. This is 27. Yeah, but I was in Ohio. So, and where I was in Ohio, we just didn't do that shit. But it was there though. It was there. At 27, I would say this. Whatever it is you want to do in life, remember this, that it's very fucking possible, okay? And no matter what you like to do, there is a group of people out there who are interested, if not more interested in it, that you can learn from. So whatever it is you want, go for it. And if you fail or you succeed, you're gonna learn either way. So you can't lose. Right? You can't lose. Thanks, Ken Black. I appreciate it. But yeah, at 27, just try. Just because I meant to write this in a fucking post on YouTube. Like, Don't focus on being great. Don't focus on being a great man. Focus on a man who can get up and try again. Or just focus on a man who never stopped trying to try to break his limit, to try to break his previous limit. And then when you finally break that limit, then go out and go break another limit, something that you never thought you could have accomplished. When you get there, then try to break another limit. That's what I would advise, man. Don't worry about like being like great or anything like that. Just try to break your own limits. Layla has girls, but you binge watch the videos where he said that a man can always turn his life around no matter what age. Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks. I don't know how to pronounce that. Fuck. I guess that's Fauch. Yeah, man. Yeah, as a man, you can always. Oh man. Oh god, the stories I've seen and heard of. Oh man, as a man, you can always fix it. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, let's say you got like $300,000 in debt or whatever the fuck. Let's say $300,000 in debt. Well, you know how many people went out there and said fuck it, and they went off and learned a trade or learned something, and then made all that money back in 3 to 5 years, and then but along that way they were still growing and learning and just completely passed that, just blew it, left that shit. They just. You can always fix it, no matter what you do in life, man. As long as you still got this, as long as you still got your brain, and you could keep learning and growing. Oh yeah, you can always fix it. Don't worry. Don't worry about fucking it up. See, like, cause see that's that like subliminal society shit of like everybody's like okay. This is one thing that I noticed is that the really, really rich people and the really, really poor people have a lot more in common than they think, for real. Like the really rich and the really poor, they both have a lot in common, meaning that neither one of them has much to lose for different reasons. Because the ones who are high, they don't have much to lose because they're in that culture. You see what I'm saying? Like they're in that culture of having. So like they can go out and do, just about anything except something super duper ridiculously bad, and they'll get off with it because they can just buy their way out of it. Now the really poor people, they don't have anything to lose because they literally don't have anything to lose, so they're freer in that sense. The ones who usually end up the most like in that slave mentality of fear of losing $5, and they're in fear of somebody finding out that they don't have the newest iPhone or whatever. See, that whole middle class area, those are the ones who really live in the most fear. Seriously, those are the ones who really live with the most restrictions. Oh my god, did they find out? Did they find out? Did they find this out? Oh my god! Like those are the ones who really end up being the slaves out of all of it. The rich and the poor, they have a lot more in common than they think. They really do. And those are the two who have the most fun. Like, when you want to go with them and y'all want to have like some good laughs and some fun and shit, both of those sides will be the best. Trust me. Like those, the really rich and the really poor, those two sides will be the best side. The middle, that's the ones you really don't want to hang out with a lot. If you're trying to do something, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to do something in life, for real, like if you're trying to like do something to be like remembered, like you really don't want to hang out with people who are like super duper in that middle area, like because those people, those are the ones who are so afraid to lose $5 and to be caught doing something like that, and then I just want to go to work. I just want to go to work, and those are the ones you want to stay away from, in my opinion. Jordan Peterson, I don't know, man, because Matthew Rogers said thoughts on Jordan Peterson. I can't say much. I'll say this: for the videos that weren't clickbait titles on them, I thought that he was fucking great. I thought he was a very well spoken person. I thought he was a very well spoken motherfucker. But I haven't watched enough to give like my proper opinion on him and his perspective. But what I did, I'm thinking of one interview right now where I think it did like women in the workplace or something like that, or how are men supposed to like compete with women? Because when we get competitive, we start getting loud, and it's just a worldwide fact. Like women naturally get a little afraid when they hear men yell. When we raise our voices, see, this is why women and children are the same. Women and children, they're the same because they both do, like they both naturally, like if we raise our voice and start yelling, they women and children immediately, like they go like that or they immediately feel like they should go like they start to cower type of thing. And I remember Jordan Peterson was going on about that. He's like, well, you can't yell at them because they'll be afraid. And then, he was speaking to a woman. And I thought he was very well spoken. I thought he was a very well spoken man, personally. But I haven't watched enough of him to give like a proper assessment. My personal view on it. Oh, let me get. This might be too personal, and I meant to email you about this, but I'm definitely scared of contracting STD, HIV from a woman pump and dump. How do you feel about this subject? Contracting the STD. Why are you afraid of contracting it? That's my first question. For what reason? Are you afraid you'll be tainted and nobody will ever love you again? Or is it just like to keep like your, uh, uh, undefeated streak going? Oh, that girl will marry you. Wisdom Vision Productions. That girl will marry that girl will do anything you say, as long as you come back to her. Well, there's a possibility like she might be. Okay, there's a possibility she might be. Okay, because the statement was we hung out with a girl this weekend who just turned 30, hasn't had a relationship in 15 years, was previously obese, and claimed her current dates only used her for sex. Your diagnosis, sir. One or two things. Okay, one, she is going to, okay, one, like a dog, she was trained to get fucked and left. So even if you were to stay around, she might find that disgusting because it's all she knows was getting pumped and dumped. So her pair bonding skills are completely shot. Now, the other side of it is she might just be desperately looking for somebody just to stay around type of shit. So if she's in that area, oh, she'll do anything you want. She'll do like she'll do anything for you just so you just don't leave at that point. Those are usually the two extremes. I think I saw your name on a few Coach Greg Adam, Donovan Sharp, and a few other. Word, that's pretty cool. George, she's from the streets. What are the easiest countries for Asian guys to bang, and how would you rank them? Well, okay. See, first my history, because I used to always have like Asian friends when I was a kid. Well, mostly Cambodia. That was where one group of them. But I would always end up with a decent amount of Asian friends. I always would, man. But I say this too. That culture, which I know, there's plenty of different cultures. But okay, how it's all going to play out in the end, from my experience, is this: that culture, out of all the ones who I came across, it's like a family culture. Like they're far more close knit than pretty much any other culture I've seen. Like they are like, it could be a positive and it could be a negative for that. But when it comes to Asian guys fucking bitches, now, I have never known an Asian guy to not be able to pull a bitch. Never, from the tall, fat Asian dudes, short, fat Asian dudes. Every Asian guy I knew, whether he was like stereotypically good looking or not, it didn't matter. bitches always will go home with them. But where I say half of them would fuck up is they started being too nice. They started like incorporating that family culture with the bitch. And even then, like you gotta do it like just right. Because it's in a woman's nature. The reality of women want to chase a man. Like women do not like to be chased because it infers their of power. They gotta lead something. So women, they like to be the chaser. But with the Asian guys, because I'm thinking of specifically 3 guys right now, and they were all in different areas on like the like what Black Pill would call like the physical attraction level of a man to a woman. And they like, one was like, short and fat. The other one was, he wasn't short and fat, but he was just, pretty soft. And then the other one, he wasn't soft, but he was just nice. But he pulled all the bitches. And he, like, if any of them brought a girl home, they end up in his bed. But I remember, because the other 2 were brothers, and they gonna hate me if they ever watch this shit. But this is what happened. They were brothers, and they were into the hip hop scene. Like, they were into going to clubs. I never liked going to clubs, but I would be with them. That's where son went to New York City. I was with them because they like to dance. They were doing this dancing shit too. They were into like that pop locking shit. But I just always end up with. So anyway, I would end up going to the club with them because they would just, they just want people to come. They say, hey, you should come. And I really didn't want to go, but I didn't have anything else to do. So I said, fuck it, I'll go. And they would pull all the bitches. Like, for real. Like, they would, but the thing was, though, the younger brother would actually pull more bitches for real. Like, he would pull more. But every time, a week to 2 weeks later, the bitches would be in the older brother's bedroom. Like, I come over, she'd come out, just woke up. Like, goddamn, bitch, how you end up on that? Like, I felt bad for the younger brother, man. I really did. But as far as Asian dudes go, it's not really about the Asian thing pulls bitches. It's the being nice shit that, from what I've seen, is either fucks it up or puts bitches in this fucking world of like, oh, well, I don't know. Should I be here? Should I not? Should I be here? Should I not? Type of shit. Like, that older brother, he had it. Like, bitches just would come to him. Like, but he would kind of do like the nice guy thing a bit too. But he had a little bad boy in him. And he had a good job. I don't think he had a great job. It was like an okay job. But yeah, it's not about the Asian. It's about like it's I think it's more that culture of that close-knit friendly shit, from what I see, is kind of what fucks up a lot of it. And I think it's the same everywhere. It's the same everywhere. I don't say everywhere because I haven't been everywhere, but well, you know how to leave, Emily. Bye. It's that simple. X. Or if you on iPhone, button right here, and you just click out. Bye. I know you have a few degrees. What's the best way to study for exams to retain information? Oh, Carolina in the streets. I'll be honest with you. I never studied. I was not, because I remember, I don't know if I told you guys this before, but when I was getting my degree in biotechnology, and I never bought books. So I remember I would take a test and I would get like a C on it, right? Like a C, if you're not in America, C is like average. Like it's like exactly in the middle. It's a passing grade, but it's like it's average. And the teacher said, she said, if you would study, you would get all A's. And I went and studied, and I got like a 36 on the next test. I work worse when things are scripted. Because it's like I build up this anxiety in me, and then I don't work off of deducing anything at all. So I'm horrible to ask for that. To ask how do you study? because I don't study. I don't think I ever bought a college book the whole time. I don't study. I just wing it. No, but when it's something I naturally want to read and know, I'll read that. But I don't study. When in college, I just hated that whole testing experience. Yo, you study and do worse? Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. I study. Yeah, I do worse when I study, man. Oh man, this COVID shit, man, like this coronavirus, like we're under a second quarantine now that just got extended, man. Like it is destroying motherfuckers out here. Like people are out here getting destroyed. Like they're like it's but like I started off the stream like laughing at certain motherfuckers because they deserve it. Certain like some motherfuckers deserve to get fucking laid off for no reason other than a world pandemic type shit. Like they deserve that shit. But a lot of people didn't know. A lot of people really didn't. And man, it's destroying lives. Like it really is, man. Like it's almost depressing when I get on like Facebook or some shit and I read like these little groups here in Czech Republic. Like I'll every day, man, somebody like, hey, I'm another one who lost his job to the pandemic. I'm looking for a job. Or if you go on like these like areas where people sell shit, like it's called like Prague buy, sell, trade or some shit like that. And every day is somebody else putting all this shit up there for sale. Like a fucking yours. I'm laughing, but that shit is fucked up. Like that's just depressing. And it'd be nice shit too sometimes. I'm AD. What would you do if you were female? What would your strategy be in life? Well, if I could take my brain and go back and be a girl, one, don't. Okay. Pay attention to the source of woman I'd be paying attention to and deducing actual logic off that shit. And in reality, pay attention to what profession I would take, depending on if I were to want a man or not, as you know, as a woman. Pay attention to the profession, the work hours, all that shit like that. Because in the video I just made earlier today, that whole like I want to be strong, independent, that's fine. But a lot of those habits can pretty much essentially taint a woman forever from ever truly being a decent spouse, because they grow to be too independent, you see. So at this point, like I would take up a profession like working in a library, maybe even like a young school teach, like teaching kids or something like that. I would take on professions in those areas, something like that, because once that in the female mind, once that independence takes over too fucking strongly, then they can never ever really they can't get with a man again. To ask what happened to all the good men. You older brother, I wish. How'd you? Oh wait, hang on. How'd you compare the looks and attitude of girls versus EU girls? Who's easier to hook? Oh, by far, European girls are easier. By far. I remember one. All right, I don't know if I told y'all this story, but I think I went on a long. It was a long time ago, but this is before I met the girl I'm with now. I knew this other girl. The other girls who I used to have threesomes with, and because it was funny. Because okay, these two girls I used to have threesomes with. They're in that city that I used to live in, Chescalipa. And the one girl wanted to date some guy from somewhere. I'm not gonna say specifically. But the guy, because obviously the guy, but she wanted to go on like it was gonna be a double date. It was gonna be me and the one girl that we'd have a threesome with, her, and then the dude that she wanted to date. And the dude, I mean, obviously I'm sure he didn't know that I was fucking both of them. Maybe he knew, maybe he didn't. I don't know. But we end up going out to like a club that night, and he was like trying, and he just wasn't like, and she didn't like him. The friend of mine, she didn't like him. So we were trying to find a way that like we can like escape without him, because the whole situation has got really awkward. And so I said, okay, look, I'll just pretend like I'm drunk and I'll walk out and I'll meet you guys out at an Uber. Then we'll just go back to my place. Talking to the two girls. So I'm drunk and I go talk to these two other girls. I'm pretending like I'm fucked up. I'm not fucked up, right? I'm like saying, hey, like, so what do you guys? It's dark and shit. I'm trying to pretend like, so what do you guys? Where are you guys from? And they say, hey, we're from blah blah. And it was these two, and these other two. They was trying. By the end of that conversation, they was damn near trying to come home with me after that. So I had these two girls in the club, and the two girls I came with to pick from. But I was like, look, I already know these other two girls. I already know these two, like, because we've done it plenty of times before. So I know I'm like, this is a guaranteed fuck type of thing. Where these other two girls, who knows? They might flake out the last minute. They may panic, or they may whatever. You don't know these. I don't know these other two girls I'm talking to. So I went on with the other two. But it's much easier, man. All you gotta do is just go out, just be decently dressed, and just go out. And once they hear your English and you're decently, once they hear your English and you're well dressed and took a shower, oh yeah, you will definitely pull something every night you go out, guaranteed. Something decent too. How'd you handle transitioning to MGTOW mentality? Feel like a friend circle was used to me being beta, but now I speak my mind and do my own thing, and it tends to make me come off like an asshole. Well, then be an asshole then. Hey, because like I said, when you deal with, specifically when you deal with women, is this, man? When you be when you're an asshole, I'm gonna get to you, Xavier Joseph, about the cosmetology thing. When you're an asshole, women, like, as long as a woman has a feeling towards you, you're in a good position. Okay, if she loves you or she hates you, if she likes you or she doesn't like you, you can still work with that. But see, once you fall into that whole thing of, I'm just the average Joe, like, see, now you're that dude that bitches just settle for. You see, like, once you're like, I'm just the average Joe. I kind of like this, I kind of like that. See, bitches forget about you until they get fucked up. And then it's like, oh, only the average Joe, he'll appreciate me. And then see that. So yeah, you be an asshole. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Be an asshole. But how I handle it? Well, I was always a kind of an asshole. I was always kind of an asshole, a bit. In the world, because I remember I had an uncle, man. He died. I was fucked up when he died too, because he died while I was over here. But he was a teacher. But he had a lot of, because that's why I had a lot of connections in Dayton, Ohio, because he had a lot of connections. But I was like his fucking, like, remember like when Tony Montana was like, when he first came from Cuba and he started fucking with Frank, and Frank gave him jobs. Like, that's what I was to my uncle. Like, I was like Tony Montana, like fresh out that motherfucking grill. Got a job. So like, because I was telling my girl, like, look, I was telling my girl, I was driving Mercedes and BMWs and like relatively nicer cars. I was driving them like, on a decent amount since I was like 22, 23 when I went off to college, and I was working with my uncle, because he always would have Mercedes and BMWs and shit like that. So that's how that was my introduction into that lifestyle. But he would always tell me, like, you're such a fucking asshole. Like, he was the only person in my family who we could legitimately curse each other, like cuss each other out. Like I don't do that with anybody else in my family, but he was the only one. He was a doctor. and he taught in like he taught like 2 or 3 universities or some shit like that. I still go see. I said, well, I still visit his like his mother. It was like this woman is like a close friend of family. I still visit her from time to time. When I'm in Ohio, I still go to see her. She's still cool too, man. Like they all were cool. But I used to cuss him out all the time. We used to cuss each other out all the time. But we stayed cool though. Your red pill mentality, as well as other books, they're motivated to do something I like without fear from society. I'm making a hentai streaming service. Believe it. Do it, man. Do that shit. Man, do it. And a hentai streaming service, yeah. Yeah, do it. I'm trying to think of anything that could be like illegal with that. But just don't like I would not advocate doing anything illegal. But I mean, yeah, do whatever you want to do. Do it. Yeah, do that shit, man. Oh, thanks. I've been meaning to add more designs on that website, man. But the website is so you want to buy one of the t-shirts. I got other designs, but I keep forgetting to fucking add that shit on there because it's so slow on the website. Oh, is cosmetology thriving in Prague or in the East? Because I'm studying to be a professional makeup artist and also want to travel in that area of the world. Because one of my ex-girlfriends used to do that shit. And like anything, there's going to be hot seasons, low seasons for it. I would recommend because you're gonna from what it sounds like, I would assume you speak mostly English. What I would advise is this: email me because coming to a place like if you want to come to Prague, coming to a place like this, that industry is mostly made up of like knowing people, knowing shit, with a certain fucking presentation of walking how you walked in the room, and then you with the English. Email me, and then and I'll work on talking to people. It's gonna be kind of slow in Prague now because a lot of that shit, like it's coronavirus, man. A lot of people just ain't doing that right now. But yeah, contact me. Yeah, email me about that. Oh, hey Matthew, I didn't even see you in here. What's up, Matthew? Hey Austria. So how do I meet up? How do I meet a lot of girls and get them in bed when I travel? Is there any secret? You gotta just be out there. You gotta go out there. You just got when you travel, just be out there, man. Like, cause when you yeah, just be out there. Cause I'm thinking when I went back to the States, I actually got stuck in Chicago. Last time I went back to the States, that's the first time it ever happened. My flight got canceled from like, I don't know. From when I left Florida, I had to go to Chicago. Then from Chicago, I had to go back to Ohio because I'm from Ohio. And that's the first time it's ever happened. My flight got canceled. As soon as we landed in Chicago, my flight was canceled to go from Chicago to Ohio. So I got stuck in Chicago and I had to spend the night. And it was kind of funny because there was it was this big black dude who was like taking you at the hotel. And and we both had allergies. Like my allergies been fucked up for like the last 2 years now. And we both was like, but and I think he thought I was like kind of a more serious dude. So I don't think he wasn't comfortable with joking with me yet. Cause I'm like, I'm tired, I'm mad because my flight's canceled. So he doesn't know you can laugh with me. I'm not going, it's cool. You can say pretty much anything you want. Like it's hard to offend me kind of thing. But I was just in a double. So anyway, he goes, oh yeah, so here's your room. It's 434. So I said, oh no, he said no. He said, no, he said it's 534. I said, oh, cool. So I'm on the 5th floor. And he knew like exactly what that meant as soon as I said it and started rolling laughing. So if any of you guys don't know, the 5th floor, like it's for you guys who know, you know exactly where this came from. Let me see it because I'm behind in this motherfucking chat. Okay, so you guys don't know, the 5th floor came from Martin. There was this character on the Martin Lawrence show that was his name was Bruh Man, and he was just dumb as hell. So he would always say like he would say, "I'm Bruh Man from the fifth floor," but he would hold up four fingers. It was just one of those things. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, the joke just didn't make any sense. I am now seeking a wife and start a family, but where I live in the UK, most women seeking money. That's all. But where are you going to meet women? What even is? Well, I've never been to. Well, I was in Scotland. Yeah, man. If where you are is anything like Scotland, you in a bad spot because them bitches that's pretty much America. They ain't settling for nothing while they be fat and fucked up. Like that's a rough spot, son. You might have to catch a plane to Prague real quick and find you one that or go to Ukraine. Well, no, Ukraine. I say Ukraine is probably worse. Well, Kiev, my experience of that shit. Kiev is probably a little worse because they own that shit ×3, and they got a little attitude because they cute and they know they cute. The Allergy Brothers. The Allergy Brothers. I was thinking of going to Nepal. I just was talking about Nepal with a good friend of mine. Nepal, somewhere in Eastern Europe, and marry a village girl. What's your thoughts on village non-Western women? Well, I don't know Nepal, but I was just talking about Nepal because I think the friend of mine, I think he's like from there or some shit like that. But small village women out here, the problem you're going to come to out here is, which I was talking to somebody off this channel before about messing with girls in these smaller cities. Like when you mess with a girl in a smaller city, smaller villages who aren't used to travelers and shit like that, see that ends up being like a cult in those areas. So like you might have a more difficult time out there because people will just be afraid. You know, this guy came out of nowhere. And every time it's in a movie, like usually the guy's like a criminal or some shit like that. So they're going like in my experience, like it's just not really worth meeting a girl. I mean, you can always find any type of girl anywhere. But from my experience, I never had good experiences in smaller towns like that because the people there are allowed to, because they never travel, they never see anything, so they don't know. They don't know what that is when it's a guy doing it. Now, a girl, like I said, throughout wherever you travel on the planet, if a girl just has a nice body, wears a dress, and has nice long hair, or she's wearing tight jeans with a nice body, you know, any guy's gonna fuck her. You know, she doesn't have to worry about that. But see, men, we have a lot more to worry about. In Scotland, women beat their husbands. How do you fuck a woman in the ass on the first night, especially if she's had a bad anal experience with other men? That is. Are you into fashion? Remember you said you don't spend. Well, yeah, I don't spend Jiren. That's a great. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, I like that name. I like Jiren for a long. I wanted Jiren to win in Dragon Ball Z actually, but of course he couldn't win because he was fighting Goku, and the show, you know, they ain't following Jiren, they following Goku, so Goku got to win in some way. But yeah, I don't spend less than I say once you go in any lower than $500, you're really kind of like, okay, it depends on how often you wear a suit too. If you don't wear a suit often, then it really doesn't matter. But if you wear suits often, you don't want to go too much lower. I say then like between $500 and $700, depending on where it is, what material it is, shit like that. Because once you go lower than that, like you'll be able to just look at it and nowadays some suits are even getting to the point where you can't even look at them until. But it's going to sweat. It's going to if it's not of a natural material, you're going to sweat in it. And you're going to sweat in the weirdest spots in it. The material, like it's just going to die out quicker, or it might get shiny or some shit like that. Like I just don't spend. I don't go that low on suits. Well, I mean, okay, and the world of suits, that's a big world, man. So some guys might look at me and say, I buy cheap suits. All right, that whole world is a huge world of suits, man. It really is. It really is. Or shoes or like hats and stuff like that. Like guys, they look at my shit and be like, yeah, this is some cheap shit. Like it's a big world. It really is. But how do you fuck a woman in the ass on the first night? Well, that's one of those things. When it comes to shit like that, man, like you got to talk to her about that. Cause that's one of those things, like, yeah, like so because a lot of girls, their bad experience was they want to please another guy so much that they let him fuck their asshole kind of thing. Like that's usually when it comes out when you talk to the girl later, that's what it was. Like she liked the guy so much that she just wanted to please him by giving him what he wanted, and she figured he wanted her that he wanted to fuck her asshole, and she probably regretted it later and hated herself for doing it because it probably hurt and all this shit like that. So like I wouldn't try forcing anything like that on a girl. Personally, I just wouldn't try it. Like even though I do like like dominant rough sex and shit like that, like I tell my girl, and like I tell like if it comes up in a conversation, like I want to hurt a woman, but I don't want to hurt a woman. If it makes sense, like I want to hurt you, but I don't want to hurt you in reality. Word red pill OG, I ain't know that. They throwing pussy like Halloween candy, bro. You have to treat a woman bad to keep them on their toes. Yeah, you got to balance it. Yvonne Brown, you definitely gotta you definitely gotta balance that shit, man. Like, because if you too nice, I went on this in another video because I made the correlation with a cement truck. Like how a cement truck, it's always turning. That's how you keep the cement how you want it. You want it to be liquid, so that way, like it can harden up later. It sounds like I'm saying cement truck, but cement truck. But see, like, because when that truck stops moving, it's going like all that cement is gonna fucking get hard. You can't do nothing with it. It's just like with a woman. You got like you can. I tell guys all the time, man, you can still be a nice guy and still get a lot of pussy, but you got to be nice. But you got to balance that shit. See, men, when it comes to the dating market, man, like we have to keep track of so much more shit than a woman. Just has to take a bath, sit there, and don't complain, and she'll get fucked. Take a bath, brush her teeth, sit there, don't complain. She'll get fucked. No problem. But see, a guy has so much more to keep track of to make sure things go right. You be a nice guy, but you got to balance it out with some asshole shit. Hey, 999 Xerox. I don't know how to pronounce that. Semen truck. You ever just wrestle with a girl playing around? Man, that shit turns me on so much. Just physically dominant. Yeah, do that. Yeah. Usually it was turning her on too, for real. She just probably ain't gonna say it, but it's gonna turn her on too. I gotta pee, man. I'll be right back. right. And I did not wash my hands because it's just me. The dad I always needed. Any advice for a male nursing student that's going his own way, especially in a female-dominated workplace? Man, go and study chiropractic. When you finish that school, go and study like become a chiropractor or like some type of doctor. Do something where you can open your own practice. What I advise is don't stay stuck in that nursing shit, man. Don't stay stuck in that shit. That's my advice on it. And I was talking about that in older live streams. I never cared for when males end up staying as nurses because women know what that because I know how women are gonna see you for real. Like some of them might fuck you here and there, but like they ain't really like go and okay, get it. Work a job as a nurse, but keep going to school to do something where you can open your own practice. You can do your own thing and get the fuck out of there, man. Because I'll be real with y'all. There was a chiropractor office. The reason I say chiropractor, there was a chiropractor office like right up the street from where my flat is in Ohio, right? And I didn't even know they was up there. But I got in a car accident because I told y'all because I went back to the U.S. to get my BMW to bring it over here. But I got in 2 car accidents when I went back. So I just never brought the shit back. I just left it in Ohio. It's at my dad's house now, so he drives it. but I got an accident. I had to go to the chiropractor. Man, them motherfuckers in there. I'm not gonna give out any names because I think the one dude he did some like legit shit before in his life, so you can find him. But I already know, man. They hired all the baddest bitches they can find to work in there, man. Like I know they fucking all them girls. All of them, like they hired all the girls in there. They from 19 to 23, and I know they in there fucking them bitches. I know they in there because I could have started fucking the one, but I could have started fucking the one because the one she would always like leave everybody else to come over and start talking to me and shit, and I ain't want to talk to her for real because I knew what it was. Like me walking into the chiropractor's office where they own this shit. Okay, she might, she might be interested because I was living in Europe. I think it came out in the conversation. She's interested in some shit like that. And then how I talk in real life, how I talk in the world, that could be, I understand that can be attractive to women. But like the reality is this, me chasing after her would be essentially useless because she got hired on by motherfuckers who own that place and they around, and these motherfuckers was like legit. I mean, like legit super in shape motherfuckers. They pounding they pussies. Man, I know they in there fucking them bitches. I know, but I bet you if they had to hire another dude in there to answer the phones and shit like that, oh, they ain't gonna respect him. Them bitches ain't gonna. I mean, they might say hi. How you doing? But they ain't trying to really like mess with him like that, man. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like now another girl who came into the office might see him and might fuck with him and shit like that. But them bitches who work in there, it's their hierarchy, man. Like, go get your own shit. And if you can do it, go do it. That's my advice, man. Oh, I love Jiren, Mr. Emoji. Jiren, okay, look, I said this the whole time. And Mr. Emoji, Mr. Emoji, I said this the whole time. The only reason that in that tournament of power, if motherfuckers was allowed to kill people, Jiren would have killed all them motherfuckers in like a minute flat. Right? The only reason they lasted was because it was illegal to kill. And then they couldn't fly. It was illegal to fly and illegal to actually kill a person. So they had to like not hurt them too bad type shit. But if Jiren was allowed to kill, oh man, Jiren would have fucking threw one hard ass punch, whack, and it'd have been over. It'd have been done. I was a fan of I like Jiren, man. Oh, hey, easy peasy. Yeah, he got that ultra instinct, Tolly Wave. He got that ultra instinct shit, and he still fucked it up because he started getting too gangster, start standing over and talking about "I beat you, motherfucker," type shit, and that shit like depleted his whole life force like in an instant. That one was like do 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 do. That fucking music came on, he was done. That motherfucker was done. But Vegeta, that I like Vegeta. I love Vegeta. Vegeta was the only one who legitimately took any of them out with like he was the only one who took out one of them with actual brute force. You see what I'm saying? Like he was the only one who didn't have to evolve to another level or some shit like that. Vegeta, he was just Vegeta how he walked in there. Like he was just strict. Vegeta was Vegeta how he walked in there. He didn't evolve into nothing. He didn't find no ultra instincts. He was just him. and took out Toppo. And then still came back to fight Jiren. This motherfucker couldn't even Vegeta was out of energy, son. He was out and then still came up, was like, I'm gonna beat you, Jiren. And I mean, Jiren whooped his ass because they couldn't beat Jiren. Jiren was just a gangster as fuck. But Vegeta, he took out he was the only one to take one of the motherfuckers out with brute force. Right? With no additional help or no shit like that. It was just him, how he walked in there in the ring, took him out, and then still went to go fight Jiren. Off of an attack that killed him before. That's my boy. I love Vegeta. I love him. These American women are overpriced for low quality sex, bro. Either get Latina or Asian high quality sex. I never had sex. I never had sex, but it's what I deserved. Word. Yamcha. Yeah, they always make Vegeta take an L, man. They always do that shit. Goku always has to. Goku's like Jesus and shit. Like, they got to put that shit back on him. That he saved the day. Any advice for working with women in sales? I never worked in sales with women, so I don't know. I can't answer that. No, Noel. Yeah, sure. So what is good and bad about the US versus EU has better quality of life, and why is dating so hard? Well, because man, dating is so hard in the US because the US is so alone and it's so separated from, the rest of the world that they just don't know, like we just don't know what's real. So everybody's kind of chasing everything, and everybody's kind of chasing, like, to get to the number one spot, and nobody ends up, very happy because everybody's like trying to, well, it'd be so much better if I had it. See, like nobody ever ends up happy. Whereas, like, okay, because I was talking to my girl about South America, like the differences in poverty between the poverty over here and poverty in from what I seen in South America was this. Like, it's like poverty down there, like people more kind of accept it. Like, I mean, it's always an old thing. If you got more money, you get more girls and all that type of shit. But it's like, it's almost more accepted in a way like, oh, this is just life type of thing. I mean, there's going to be like, people kidnapping people, shit like that there. But it's not like this, that jealousy and envy for not having money. It's not really like, it's not like in the back of everyone's mind type of thing. Like, oh, if I just had some money, if I just had a lot of money, everything, if I just had a lot of money, like that's kind of like the American thing. It's like, it's always like people will sell their fucking grandmother's asshole for some money in America, man. Like, cause they're all chasing. It's like, I kind of see that over here, like, which is why, like, I don't like to go too much further east, which if somebody's watching this from Eastern Europe, that's what it is. I don't like to go too much further east. Because like I feel like it's that thirst and drive comes out where people they just can't even be people anymore. They can't even be natural people anymore. But the difference between EU and the European Union, and America, quality of life, I say you would be better off here for a quality of life, for sure. You'd be better off here. Because, I mean, if you even want to travel and see something different, it'd be no longer a 2-hour drive in any direction to go travel somewhere and see, different languages and different money and, shit like that. In America, you can't do that. I mean, it's going to be the same shit wherever you go. Oob, boo, oob. Yeah, I agree. Easy peasy. Money's nothing without swagger. Yeah. Are you going to get one of the new consoles? If you do, I suggest Far Cry. Man, I'm trying to start a gaming channel, man, but everything's closed. I was trying to start a gaming channel on Twitch. I already made it, but the camera, because I don't have a good enough PC. Because I bought an Elgato capture card, but it was, man, that thing, like this old ass laptop couldn't handle that shit. So I got to get either build a PC or buy a PC, which I might buy like just a PC that's good enough to do the capture card shit while I stream, play some game or something like that. But yeah, I was gonna get a PS5, and I was reading earlier that supposedly Germany and Poland has a lot of them, so you can order them from like Germany and Poland and get it. But it's sold out in Czech Republic right now, so I don't know if that's true or not. I'm gonna look into it pretty soon. What do you think about female professors? Because I know this professor who's in her late 40s with no kids, but has a husband. Confused. Confused. Hey, Jonathan. Thoughts on the current political debacle in the U.S.? Man, that is deep. My thought is this, man, on that. Okay, because a lot of motherfuckers like Trump, a lot of motherfuckers didn't like Trump. I get it. But the reality of that shit is, man, like once you become any kind of like leader, any leader in anything, you are getting things from a completely different perspective. So at this point, like I do lightweight feel sorry for Trump in a way, because let's face it, like Melania, that bitch don't like him. Right? Now, because I heard some people say like Melania, she could walk out on him. I wouldn't blame her if she did. When you're in that position, like you just don't know. You don't know what presidents don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, because like a perfect example here, the president or leader, whatever the fuck of Czech Republic, they make fun of this motherfucker all the time. Because like now we're under quarantine, right? And you cannot go into a grocery store. There's only a certain amount of people who go into a grocery store. So what does that mean? That means everybody stands outside the grocery store in groups because of coronavirus. So what does that mean? Logically, it's probably a worse idea, because everybody's now standing outside in a group close to each other for an hour waiting to go shop in the grocery store for food. So it's like, that really was a smart idea. But I get now from the government side, as a leadership position, I get their take on it, because it's like, okay, if we had done nothing and cases would have risen, the people would have said, oh, well, you should have did something. But now if they do something and the cases rise, and it's like, oh, well, you should have done that. So it's like, you really can't win. You see, like these politicians and governors and mayors and presidents, these motherfuckers can't predict the future. All right. They don't know. They don't know. This is essentially why I don't vote, because the reality, they don't know. Okay, when they run for this shit and they're doing, they cannot predict. They don't know. For anybody who makes fun of any politician or any president, whether if you agree with them or not, for anybody who makes fun of anybody who does shit like that, you go out and run for president and tell me how it goes. And you'll see what I'm talking about. You can't know. You just that's a deep topic. But they said he lost. So I mean, I don't give a fuck if he won or lost either way. because you know I studied how America runs, so the president really doesn't fucking matter a whole lot in in the long run of this shit. It's not gonna matter. But that's a deep fucking conversation, man. Like I didn't have a problem with Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for anybody. I didn't have a problem with Trump. The weird? Okay, what struck me as kind of weird was this. Why did motherfuckers walk around wearing this damn hat? Like, personally, I seen that as like a backlash for Barack Obama. Like motherfuckers just wanted to rub it in your face. Like, who the fuck goes around and wears this fucking "Make America Great Again" hat? I mean, and think about that actual phrase of "Make America Great Again." Like, who was America great for, if anybody? Think when you think about that deeply, like it sounds fucked up. It sounds fucked up. That's just that whole situation was just ridiculous, in my opinion. Trump won. What gets from what I found, man, now I can stand out a bit. Once you go to especially like you go to South America, as a black dude, you're gonna stand out down there as a black dude. Over here, like I said, which is fucked up to say. Once they figure out you're like African American or you're a black guy from the UK, you have a better chance of having an easier time. But I mean, I do know African guys who have done great here too. But you definitely have a better chance because it's just the world works on hypergamy. The whole world, it's not just women. The world works on hypergamy for what they think is going to be worth more and get more, and we build off of that and blah blah blah. But to get girls, there's no big booty hoes over here. They don't have big booties over here, Matthew. No, I don't watch Think Before You Sleep. But to get girls, man, is like with girls anywhere. Like girls, they don't really care about most of them. Now, some girls will just have a thing for Spanish or a thing for black guys or a thing for white guys or a thing for Italians or French, or some girls will just have that thing. But for the most part, man, it's the guy and how he works his own charisma. That can beat out, other guys, no matter what they are. As long as you just have a certain, way about you and charisma, and charm, but like stoicness and shit like that, that can beat out, that can beat out money. It can beat out height. It can beat out weight. It can beat other things. You really think the politician don't know what's going on, or are just playing up their part on the script? Well, okay, I don't think okay. See, this is why I say this is a deep topic. They know what's going on from their perspective. You see, but then it's like it'd be like being like a teacher in a class, like in a class full of in the reality of it, I'd say it would be how, let's say, like politicians and politicians. Well, let's just use Trump as an example, because that's the easiest thing to use right now. And I'm not trying to say good or bad, but this is just the reality of the situation. See, what the realities of the world that has been brought to Trump's fucking front door every day since he was president is I'd say at best case would be like a well-experienced, let's say like a 45-year-old school teacher teaching second graders. So now they got to break it, so the tidbits of what the kids are going to see, you got the adult is trying its best to communicate to get to this child, you see. But even then, some things are going to get lost in translation, some things are going to get skipped over, whatever the fuck. Because I mean, look, there are so many issues on this planet right now that that if everyday people knew what was going on, well, I'd say the reality of it is people would just give up on the world, essentially. People would just give up on everything if they knew the realities of what was going on, where and how it was happening, and who was getting what for what reasons and shit like that. The brutal reality, most people just give up on everything. Just say fuck it. There's no point to trying. You see, that's my opinion of it. Easy peasy. Yeah, yeah, and yeah. The nihilistic shit. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah. That is. I mean, oh my god. Yeah. I gotta pee, man. I'll be right back. All right. So bad. Hey, Eddie. If they try to take these red pill channels down, how would I spread the message? Everyone I know is a cringy scent beta, yet believe it's woman. It's what women want. LOL. I want to share the message before it's too late. Well, yeah. Well, I think at this point, man, there's so many like red pill channels, spread throughout the internet. I don't think it wouldn't be too bad. At this point, people could just like remake another YouTube channel and upload it again. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Any suggestions for a good book to read? I just thought of like three, but I can't remember the actual proper name of it to tell you. Is they're philosophy books, man, or pretty much any psychology book. Like they can at least get you started. Well, if you'd have to know. What's this? Oh fuck! It's moving way too fast. That's what she said. Sex clubs girls go to. Oh yeah, I just never went. Because I got in some Facebook group about that shit. Was it a Facebook group or something? It was something I got into about that. But yeah, like sex is definitely not as taboo over here, man. You can always find it. The thing is though, with stuff like that, you really want to go with a woman. Like you got to find like some girl to go with. Because that's another entitlement that women have. See, women they can just be reckless and go anywhere, do anything. But see, men are essentially creeps unless they have a reputation already, or they show up with a woman. Because a lot of sex clubs they won't let you in if you don't have a girl with you. They just won't let you in at all. Yeah, let me see if I can find. Oh, Chris, I hope you're here, Chris. I just read the Patreon message. I'm gonna take a picture of this about Kelly Stamps. I don't know who that is, but what's your translation when you see women say, "I hate men, men ain't shit"? The man that she wanted was okay. There was a man that she wanted and she thought she can get, but at the same time, see, this is where woman is usually like, on self-destruct mode. When women say things like that, there was a man that she really wanted. There was a man that she really, really wanted. And she wanted him because he was so much better than her, right? So when she got a chance to give him some pussy, she found out that he could actually do better than her in real life and went out and did better than her and completely forgot about her. That's how women grow to hate men. That's essentially how it happens most of the times. It was a sea of hideous people. I've never been to an actual sex club. So you beat me at that. I've been to brothels, but I've never been to a sex club. What's your favorite food in the city? Man, I usually always eat ribs, sushi. If I can find some good pizza, which I got this, man. I know people gonna make fun of me for this, but my favorite pizza is a Subway. Is a pizza in the Subway here. Oh God, I love that pizza, man. Like when it's fresh and hot, it literally just like falls apart because it's just so fucking juicy and shit. I fucking love that shit, man. Like it's called like KM pizza in the Subway. I get that shit ordered. I get it delivered. I get delivered some Subway pizza, son. That shit is fucking great. Hey, Austria, I heard I would rate higher in other countries. Is that true? And why is that? Because I don't look the same. Yeah. Ready for a virus vaccine? Nah, I ain't taking that shit. In Prague, favorite food is ribs. I love ribs, man. Ribs and sushi. I've never seen Le Miserable. I don't know how to pronounce that shit, but it's like French. I never watched. It was a musical, right? I think I never watched it. Oh yeah, Subway pizza is fucking great, man. I love that's my favorite pizza. My favorite pizza. What's your translation when a woman says, "I wish you'd respect me enough to ask me first before you invite so and so out with us"? Oh yeah. See, yeah, that you was going the right way. That you was going the right way. Because if you had asked, you would have been some beta chump for doing it. You was doing the right thing. Because you guys, hey, can Jared come out? You know what I'm saying? No, Jared gonna be there, right? And you come in too. That's about as low as you go. Well, Jared gonna be there. Jared gonna be there, and you just keep moving. Like, see, that's that Jedi mind trick. Well, it's not even a Jedi mind trick. It's just dealing with dumb bitchinese at that point. You see, like if she had a problem with somebody who might show up there, okay, she would have set up a reason not to go a whole lot earlier. So like she's trying to pull this whole, well, I wish you should have asked me first type shit. No. No, you should. Don't do it. Because you ask her first, she if you ask her first, if if you invited, so and so. Okay, if the person you invited had like tried to flirt with her or some shit like that, I get that. That makes sense. If the dude like tried to fuck her or something like that, and you was like right in the other room or some shit like that, I get that. But if it wasn't some shit like, or you had like a little kid or something, and the dude was like weird around a kid, that makes sense. I can see that. But like, if it wasn't something like that, no, don't ask her for permission. You just tell her, or just tell her he gonna be there, and then leave it on her to show up if she wants to or not, type shit. Don't play into that shit, because you play into it, she's gonna see you as a child after that. Because you got to ask her from, essentially you gonna ask her for permission. Can Todd come? No, don't do that. Subway pizza, and the Subway dark. Dark Sora in the subway, trains. I'm gonna get off here, man. I didn't think I'd be on this long. I thought I'd just come on for an hour real quick. 80, have you ever talked about the power of a man can have in the bedroom if he acts indifferent and quiet after sex? Oh, well, I thought you got that from me, Damon. Okay, yeah. Yeah, oh, maybe I didn't say it. Oh no, I probably did. I probably never brought it up. But yeah, like when you fuck a girl, see, girls want to do that cuddling shit, right? And for real, like a lot of guys want to do that shit too. Like sometimes I want to do it too. Sometimes don't do it. At least the first 1 to 2 nights you with her. Don't do that cuddle shit, all right? Because it's the same. Okay, this is the same thing as how different the relationship ends if you dumped her first versus she dumped you first. See, women, they're always about this status shit, man. So yeah, when you like don't give a fuck after you fuck her, you see, you're putting it on her. They're like, oh, was I not good enough? Should I do with this? You see that, and that's where you want them. You want them in this position of not knowing. You want them in this position of like being on their toes, not knowing if they was good enough, if they was bad, whatever. That's where you want, because once they know after you fuck the bitch, and you're like, oh my god, I love you. If you that's that's the wrong road. Oh my god, I just love you so much. You're just perfect. And no, you are better off ignoring. Like after you fuck her, like just go ahead, curl up on your side of the bed, go sleep, and just out. Because what that's gonna signal to her, because see, women, they don't let go of that status shit. So what in her mind's gonna be, was I not good enough? Was he happy? Did you please him? And see, that's how you get them. Or you're gonna have her in a better. It's at worst, it's gonna be a better position. Do you have any interesting, funny hookup stories? That Joe Montana. When I read that, I was thinking about the girl who was the first time. I think that was the first threesome I had. I don't know if you heard that story or not. What should you do? You 16. Tanaka Fupa. You're 16. Keep listen to guys who are saying shit like me, who also can keep a woman. I would not recommend listening to like those motherfuckers in the manosphere who can't keep a girl. All right. You talk to a guy who can keep a woman around, or listen to guys who can keep women around. The beer glass. Oh, I didn't buy this. This is the landlord's. I didn't buy this cup. This is my only beer cup. I had 2 of them, but I broke the other one on accident because he is in check. I didn't buy this shit. The words are in check. With ugly feet. I don't know. I ain't never even paid that much attention. Well, no, like a lot of girls do. Okay, my opinion of ugly feet is like long toes, and I hate long feet and long toes and long skinny feet. Like I don't like. I hate feet that look like that, man. That's probably one thing that kept one girlfriend I'm thinking of. That's what kept me fucking her was like how her feet connected to her leg because she had small feet and small toes, but they were like a little chubby and she kind of just walked with them relaxed kind of thing. It was just weird. But that was one thing that kept me more attracted to her was how her feet connected to her legs. But the funny hookup story, yeah, that was a story. Joe Montana. I'll touch on that and I'm gonna get off here. The hookup story was this girl I knew, we pretty much had it set up. Well, we had it set up to where if she needed a ride, she would suck my dick for a ride. To take her to the store or some shit like that, right? And she would text me like completely random times, like, "Hey, I need a ride. I'll suck your dick if you take me such and such." And if I was in the mood, I'd go do it. So it was the first threesome I had. Was there's one time she texted me, she wanted to go somewhere, and she didn't. When I get there, her friend's there. Is this older girl? She was there, and they were like, girl. I didn't notice, but they were like girlfriends at the time. And So I took her to the store. We came back, or took her. I honestly don't remember where I took her, but I remember we came back, and so I said, "So are you gonna suck my dick here or in the car?" And I don't remember what she said after that, but for some reason, I just got up and just pulled my dick out. And she starts like jerking me off, sitting down, and she's looking at her girlfriend and said, "Yeah, girl." She's like, "Yeah, girl, I gotta do it because he gave us a ride to the store." And then her friend, and the other girl, she goes, "Oh, well, I can help you out with that." And so I just walked over to her with my dick out, and she just starts like sucking my dick like crazy, like all the extracurricular sounds and moves with her tongue and all that. She was just like going to town on it. So it because I had to walk because I remember exactly how it was. It was a hallway right here. The computer desk was over here. That's where a friend. I had to walk over to the computer desk because Desiree, the girl I showed you on the last live stream, that looks that scared the shit out of me. Maybe I still got it. She's fucked up now. If I still got a picture, I'll show her to you. She's fucked up now. I hope I probably didn't even save it to my phone, but she was just ugly as fuck. Yeah, no, I don't have it because this is way too far back. But yeah, that is a hookup story. But yeah, I'm gonna get off here, man. So yeah, you guys have a good night. See you, Daddy. I'm out, man. I'm out. Peace out.